Hello everyone, just gonna make a short video. So, to whoever is here today, I hope you're having a good day. If you're having a bad day, watch this video. Um, if you have any siblings, friends, or family, and if you get along with them or not, well, that's good or not, but I've noticed that sometimes, you know, when you are at peace with yourself and you have clarity and you listen and you share the way you work, you know, and you take time to allow the right words to come to mind. I make this video because I recently had a situation with someone in my life. Won't say their name, won't say anything, but there's many people who come from different backgrounds and cultures and belief systems, and it's it can be a lot for someone who doesn't really believe in anything at all. You just exist. You exist, you respect the views, though you're not afraid of saying what is in your mind. And sometimes people will call you names. It will disappoint you. It will hurt. You just cannot allow them to you know it's sort of like you I saw a quote where it said, don't just look in the good in people, pay attention to what they show you. It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, it could be the neighbor, it could be a complete stranger at a store. When you look into their eyes, you could see everything. When you watch their behaviors, you have to be careful because sometimes their behaviors, can literally say everything you need to know, too, right there and now. And, my sibling, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to get into specifics. You have to respect them. You can't go any further because then they would, it's a whole conflict. It's a confliction to the ego. When someone has a fragile ego, you have to be aware and you have to be careful because sometimes words come from duality, and it's very difficult to word something. It's sort of like fear. When someone fear projects onto you, not saying that, my sibling did this, it's sort of like when you have your ways and they have their way and you completely understand that they work a different way, though the approach that you made may have seemed like like a personal attack to that person, and now you're trying to understand, or if you already see it, your mind is always trying to understand something, but when the soul, you're aware, you're conscious, and you know what they're going through. But there's trying to seek validation to see if your logical mind knows where they're coming from. And my mind, I have autism, I have higher functioning autism. It's a little harder for my mind to receive something. And I did receive what my sibling, gave me, though the mind cannot put it in words. And then, the argument began. My sibling has the right to feel upset, and I apologize, but I'm not apologizing for being who I am. I'm not apologizing for you getting upset, because wherever that's coming from, it's obviously somewhere deeper within you. And that's, you guys can resonate. Whoever's viewing this, you can resonate or not. If it doesn't, it's not for you. But it can be challenging because you do not mean your approach did not mean to show up in that way. But the way they saw my, how I said that, you know, my sibling was showing me how to make tea. That they wanted me to follow the directions of how they do it. And I allowed it. Though, with me saying, sometimes I'll use a spoon, and that's just because, it's easier, and, but that's when the argument, like, it started a little bit later, but that's when the disagreement, it's sort of like when you're trying to make them understand that this is how your mind functions, somewhere in their end, it's not accepting, instead, it's being annoyed. It's annoyed that it is not being listened to. I'm paying attention to her behaviors, and I'm patient to continue. I'm not trying to argue. I'm not trying to argue. I'm not trying to be, a scorch cannon that's keeps the drama going. And it's on her part. Yes, my sibling is a woman, and I don't care if she blocks me from social media, from her heart, for, making a direct video about her. You know, I'm not going to say their name, but sometimes we all go through hell in order to go high, in order to go in order to find ourselves again. It's by being who you are and accepting how other people are, you know. And if this video causes my sister just back away. You what? Sure. Yeah. You know. Sometimes you just have to allow yourself to acknowledge that some people might not follow you for forever. They will still love you, but you have to let them go. And it could be your mother, could be your brother, could be your sister, could be your father, could be your best friend, could be a friend, could be a stranger, could be a worker, anyone. It's protecting your peace. And many people will see it as, oh, you're getting defensive. You're projecting your ego onto me. No, they're going through a hard time in their journey. That when they're emotional, their emotions blind them. They're in denial. And when you're in denial, you cannot think clearly. You're allowing the ego to drive the damn car, and you're sinking down in the ocean like a boat. I have a fractured ego. It's still here, but it's not in control. I'm, you know, I'm allowing myself to be, because that's all you have to do. You're not the mind, nor are you the ego. Use your ego like a tool. Allow your mind to plan and make goals, but you're not the mind, you're the soul. Love who you are, accept all, and protect your peace.